Hello guys, it's Kolo again. Welcome to my videos. So in today's videos guys, we're going to build up another topology. So this topology will combine different components, different network components within our working area. We'll build a different topology, a strong one. This topology will contain 3 subnets and a main router which will enhance communication between one subnet and another. So without further ado, let's go and check it. So first of all, I have a PNG within my PC. So this is a PNG photo that's contain all the detail that we need to come up with this kind of topology. So as you can see, this topology, it contains three subnets. So this is subnet 1, this is another subnet, this is another subnet. So we want our subnet 1 to be able to communicate with both subnet 2 and 3, and the same here, subnet 3 communicate with both. Also the middle one to be able to communicate with all of them. This will be enhanced by this this main router here. So we want to be able to pin or communicate with each subnet here. So let's go and start dragging our component within our working surface area and see what we have and see what we'll build. So just relax, sit there and let's start. So let's go, let's do it. So I have eNSP installed in my PC, so make sure you install your eNSP. I still remind you to make sure you have a virtual box to be able to run the eNSP within it. You can have a Wireshark here. This will enable you to capture data packets. If you want to capture data packets for a certain point, then this is the work of a Wireshark. So let's proceed. So this is our eNSP, this is our working area surface. Now let's drag and drop. So first of all, we draw the area, we'll draw the simple subnets. So let's do it. So just come here, let's choose color of our choice and try to draw something here. We'll choose circular and let's draw the first one here, the second here. Should be somehow something like that. Not that bad. Let's squeeze this one, also squeeze this one, and let's come here again. Now we'll draw a rectangle with a little bit different color. Let's choose something green. Not bad. So let's draw it here. So let's expand this. So I think it's not bad. So yeah, let it be that way. This will be a little bit higher, and let's now drag our component within this area. So let's start by dragging our pieces. So we'll need one PC here, another one here, here, and here, here, and here. Once done, do it for the router. We'll use 3S37 switch. So a layer 2 switch. We're going to use a layer 2 switch. Then choose any router of your choice. So let's drag and let's add a main router here. Once done, also let's create another area, simple area. So let's be that way, a little bit darker, and then should be circular way. So yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that way exactly. So let's arrange our routers, switches and other things. Same here. So we are done. Let's now proceed and connect our system. So connect our system through Giga Ethernet. Connect our system. Also, we are done with that. So for anything else, let's start our devices. So just select all of them and click start. So our devices are now ready. Let's try let's start labeling them. So let's go ahead, let's take a text area and let's start name each network. So let's create different networks. So each network for each subnet. So 192.168.0.0 network. This will be for subnet 1. Let's name it subnet 1. It will be a subnet 1. So the next thing, let's give it this another network 192.168.1.0. So this will be a .0.1 network. Let's squeeze a little bit. Let's come here and assign another network. This will be 192.168.2.0 network. This will be 192.168.3.0 network. This will be 192.168.4.0 network. And lastly, this will be 192.168.5.0/network. And we are good to go. So next thing, now let's start assigning our routers, our PC's IP addresses. So we'll give each device an IP address. So go ahead and do that. Subnet 3, this will be subnet 2, that way. So the next thing, now let's assign our PCs, our devices, our everything here. Let's each have a unique IP address. So let's start with the subnet one. So I will summarize this by simply add the last address, the last network. In short, what I mean is that I'll simply add the last value, which is now .1, .2. I'll do that. There's no need of me continue writing the entire thing, since we have specified this network will be within 192.168. So the only value that is allowed to change is the last value, which is the digit 0. So this is the value that will keep on changing, but the other three will remain the same. So let's go ahead and do that. So this will be a .2, meaning 192.168.0.2. This here will be a .1, exactly the same. This will be a .3, and we are done with that. Let's come outside this network and also do the same. We'll assign this as a dot. Let's give it .2 to be a little bit different, and let's give this a .3. So yeah, we are done with that part. Also, let's come within this network and also do the same. We'll give it this the .1, and at this point we'll give this a .2. Again, let's come here and do the same here. We'll give it .1, give this part .2, this part will give it .3, and I think we are done with this area. Again, let's come to this area of this network. We'll give this a dot, let's give it .2. Come to this area, give it .1, give it .1. Let's give it .3. Let's give it .3 to be a little bit different. Then let's give this inside network .1. This will be .2, and the last one will be .3. So this will be .3. So we are done assigning our devices the IP addresses. So the next thing, let's go and configure our PC. Let's configure our routers and see what we have. So let's do it. So we'll start by configuring our PCs, go configuring our routers, and we see if we have established this kind of network. We will see if we've managed. So let's do it. So we'll go ahead within our basic configuration. I will now assigning our PC their current IP addresses. So this will be it's within the .0 network, therefore it will be 192.168.0.2. The subnet mask remain 255, and the gateway become this is our gateway. Every packet, every information is sent from this point, it will pass via this gateway to go outside other networks. So it will be 192.168.0.1. We are done with that. Click apply and let's proceed. So we'll repeat the procedure the same for the second and the third subnet. So come here again, 192.168.0.3. have a subnet mask of 255. Our gateway 192.168.0.1. Click apply. So we are done assigning our PCs IP addresses. So we'll go ahead also and configure our routers. So we are done doing that. So far our PC are now having a unique IP address. So let's go ahead and now configure our router in each subnet. So I'll configure this router and assign these two IP addresses. So let's start with router 1. So we'll name our system view. Let's name our router system router. Let's call it router 1. So interface, through which interface we are talking about, this through this interface giga ethernet 001. So giga ethernet 0/0/1, and we'll assign an IP address of 192.168.0.1 network. As you can see, it is a subnet mask of 24, and we'll click enter. So repeat the same for this interface. So just quit, and within this interface, which is giga ethernet 00, so we'll go ahead and assign giga ethernet 00 with an IP address of 1.2 network. So it will be 1.2 network, and click enter also. So we are done with that part. Let's go ahead and do it for this one again. So system, then system name, we call this router 2, click enter. So within this, we'll go with interface. We're talking about this interface giga ethernet 001. So go with giga ethernet 0/0/1, and we'll assign this an IP address of 192.168.3.1, the subnet mask of 24. We are talking about this network here. So just click enter, then let's do it for the same. So we repeat the same thing at this point, which is giga ethernet 00. Click enter. The IP address will be 2.2. It will be 2.2. So 2, and this will be 2. Click enter, and also we are done with that part. Let's come to this last part. So again, system name, call this router 3. So through interface, talking about this interface here, giga ethernet 001. So giga ethernet 0/0/1. Talk about the IP addresses, which is 192.168.5.1 network 24. Talk about this network. So click enter, error and recognize command. This, we have write our address in a wrong way, so let's correct it and click our tab, enter. Then we'll do it for the next one. Let's add this interface.3 within the .4 network. So let's go ahead again, talk about interface giga ethernet 00. So it will be 0. Click enter, and the IP addresses, it will be in the .4 network, and then the last value is 3, and also click enter. So we are done doing that. So far our PC should be able to pin this subnet network. Also this should be able to pin this subnet network, and the same here should be able to pin this subnet network. Let's try. So let's try to pin anything within this subnet one. So we'll pin, first of all, let's pin our gateway, which is 192.168.0.1, and if we click enter, we should be able to get reply. As you can see, guys, we are able to get reply. So meaning this PC, this PC they can be able to communicate within this area, but not outside this subnet. They are not aware about the other subnets, so they cannot communicate. So we'll still go ahead and add some form of configuration so that each PC or each subnet is now be able to communicate with each other. Let's now check if this PC also can able to ping the other PC within the same subnet. So we'll go ahead and sign the .3 network and we'll click enter, and you can see also we are able to get replies. So without further ado, let's proceed. So it's same, by the way, it's same. Even if we do for this one, it will still pin. So it's just a confirmation that we are on a right track. So that's why we need to confirm. It's good sometimes to confirm before proceeding so that you can know where errors are now generated. So let's try to pin the .5 network, and also we are able to get reply, so we are good to go. Now the next thing we'll do, if we try to pin anything outside this network, let's say we want to pin the .1 network at the next hop, which is 3. If we try to pin this gateway or this entrance point, this one, if we try to pin this from this PC are not aware of anything like this. They are not aware of this path, which is the Giga Ethernet 0001. So if we try to pin it, for example, we'll have a request timeout, meaning they have no idea of what is going outside there. They are only aware of their environment, their subnet, but not anything else. But we can pin this port, because we have already assigned this network within our router. So if this PC try to communicate concerning this route, it will be able to give reply. If we try to give the .2 network, it will give reply because this router, or we have already assigned this IP or this network within our router, but this router does not have an idea about this existence network. That's why we have a request timeout for this point. So we'll try to deal with this and make sure at least this network is aware of this, and also is aware of this, and also is aware of this. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to assign the IP routine. We want to, within our routers, within the routine table, we want our routine table to contain some more detail concerning this router. If we try to come to this router here and we try to check, let's first rename this. We'll name this as router 4. So this will be router 4. And if we try to display, let's try to display our IP routine table and see if our table or if our router contain anything. So if you see now, our routine table has nothing, it is just empty. This is our routine table, this is how it look like. So it has nothing, any detail, is just clean. That's why we cannot do anything, because it has no idea of any existing network. So that's how our routine table look like. If we check for this one, let's also want to display this one. Let's display IP routine, and you will see this, it has at least it has a small details. This is because we have assigned the addresses. Now you can see they are direct connected. The protocol is direct, meaning they are one-to-one connected, and you can see they are one-to-one connected. This port is as connected to this directly, this has been connected to this directly, and that's why our protocol now become direct instead of static. We have assigned it, but they are aware of each other because they have been connected direct. So that's why we have a protocol of direct. So if you can see, we have this network, the .00 network, which is our subnet 1 network, and within our .00 network we have this gateway which is .0.1. Also, if you check again, we have this network, the .1 network, and within our .1 network we have this point of this path, which is .2 network. So at least this router has more information. That's why it's now if we try to pin anything within outside this point or within the network, it's be able to recognize this because its IP routing table has some more detail concerning the network. So let's proceed and now try to configure our router, adding some more detail within them, and now should be able to communicate with each subnet, with each network within this topology. So next thing we'll do, let's start with router 1. Let's assign its IP routing table and add some more detail. So we'll notify these changes. By the way, guys, we'll know we have made changes because anything that we're going to do from this point, its protocol will be recognized as static. We'll talk about the static, so you'll be able to differentiate it from these protocols which were before these are direct. So as you can see, all of them here, they have a direct protocol, meaning they are direct connected. But once you will see anything like static, meaning this is now IP routine for different topology, for different network, it is recognized as static because we manually input this IP. So let's go ahead and do it. So first of thing, let's now do it. So we'll do it by just write this simple command: IP root static. We are telling our system or our configuration point that we are going to add this IP manually, so therefore the protocol that we're going to use is static. That's why we are using root static. So we'll first of all, we will going to assign the network. Which network do we want to visit? Which network do we want our subnet to communicate with? We want our subnet to be able to communicate with this network here. Sorry for that. We want our subnet to be able to communicate with this network here, also to be able to communicate with this network. So these are two network that we want this subnet 1 to be able to communicate with. So we'll go ahead and add the .3 network and also the .5 network. That's the first thing we will do. So we come here, and within here we'll add 192.168.3.0. This is the network that we want this subnet 1 to communicate with subnet 2 within this network. The next thing, we will add a subnet mask. You can simply write 24, or you can simply write in a other way, which is the 255.255.255.0 network. So any can work. So the next thing is now the next hop. Which is our next hop? The next hop becomes the next router, which is the next router that we will approach before reaching this point, before reaching this network. So the next router or the next devices that we will approach on our way to this network is this router. So this is the router that we will approach as we heading to this network, and we will approach this network or this router within this port. This is the port, or this is the console port that we will going to approach, which is the Giga Ethernet 001. So this is the point whereby we will approach. So we will need to assign this network as our next hop, so that this router will now forward every packet to this next hop. Then this next hop will now forward this to this area network that we want to communicate with. So we'll go ahead and add this, the .1.3 network. So 192.168.1.3. so that's become our next hop, and click enter, guys, and now we were good to go. So also we want to do the same here for this subnet 3. So let's go ahead and do it for the subnet 3. So we'll simply repeat everything, but what will change only is the network. The network that we want to communicate now become the .5, because we want to communicate with this network now. But this next hop will still remain the same. This is because we will still use the same path to approach this subnet 3. That's why there's no need of changing this next hop. This network will still remain the same. So by doing so, by saying so, let's go ahead and also click enter, and we are done with that part. We are now done. We still have some more work to do. if we try to do something like pinning, let's try to pin something like 192.168.1.3, you can see we have a break request timeout. This because we need to add some more detail concerning this area. So let's proceed. Let's try to do it. Let's just be patient and we will done doing all these things. So the next thing, let's come to this router and do the same thing. So you just come here and do the same thing. So system and IP route static, IP route static 192.168.0.0 network. This I'm talking about subnet 1 network. This is the network that I'm talking about, and I want to assign within this router 2. So subnet mask of 24, and it will approach which point or which device, which path. This path we are talking about, this path which is the .2.1. This will become our gateway for this point, or are becoming our next hop. So 192.168.2.1, this is a point that we're talking about, this one. So click enter and repeat the same procedure for the remaining subnet 3. So let's go ahead and do it for subnet 3. So also what we need to change, we need only to change the network. This become 5, and also we are good to go. So we are good to go. Now let's do it for the third one. So come to this also, let's do the same thing. So system then IP route static 192.168. Let's talk about the subnet 2 and subnet 1. Subnet 2 is a 3.0 network with a subnet mask of 24. Then this point become our next hop within the .4 network. So 192.168.4.2. 4.2 become our next hop. Enter. Repeat it for the third one. So just go ahead and change the network. This become now .0. Then also click enter and we are done. So after doing that, go ahead again. Let's try to pin the same thing that we are trying to pin before here. 1.3. Let's try to do it. 1.3. We should have a request time out. Such a thing, and that's the fact that we should. This is because we have not configured this router here. We have not configured this router, and that's why we have another request timeout. Let's try to pin anything within the subnet and see if we can get feedback. Let's do 3.2. Also we have a request timeout. This is because we want to send our packets within these subnets, but our main router, our main network, we have not yet configured. He is not aware of any IP addresses that come from this point going to the other points. So at least before even configure anything, at least we should assign these IP addresses within our router. That's why if we display this router, we see that it has no detail concerning anything within here. That's why it's not be able to recognize anything, any network, any IP come from any side of this subnets. So if we go ahead and assign these IP addresses within our IP routing table, we will see some changes. So let's go ahead and do it. So just go system sorry, should be system that way. And let's try to do something. So interface, we'll talk about this interface, which is Giga Ethernet 0001. Let me just be sure of it. Not that way. It should be 001, 002, 000, because it's okay. So it's 001. So interface Giga Ethernet 0/0/1. We are talking about this point here. Then we will assign this IP address. So IP addresses, then 192.168.1.3. This is the point that we are talking about here. Then click enter. Here I have an incomplete command at this point. This is because we have IP addresses. Sorry, we forget the subnet mask. That's why we are running into error. So we forget the subnet mask. So let's add it. We forget a subnet mask and now we are good to go. So let's repeat the same thing within the interface 00. Let's go with interface 00 and we will assign, we are talking about this interface here, so we'll assign the .4 network for. So let's add IP addresses. So let's go ahead and assign its 4.2. Talking about this point here. So and also we are good to go. The last one is the interface Giga Ethernet 002. So let's go ahead and do the same. So this become 2 and our IP addresses become, it's within which network? It's within 2.1 network. It's within 2.1 network, as you can confirm here. It's within the .2 network at this point, which is the .1. So also click enter and let's try to do the same thing as we tried to do before. So let's come here again. We're trying to pinning this .2. Let's try to pin it again. Destination is still unreachable. Let's do it one more. Still it's unreachable. So let's do one more thing. Let's do one more thing and see what we have remained with. So let's come here, try this one. So pin 192.168.1.3. is it aware of the network? So no, it's not aware of the network. So let's go ahead again, guys, and I assign the IP routine. Let's check our table. Let's check how our table look like. Let's check our display. So display IP routine. As you can see now, we have some information containing our gateway. We have this the .1 network with this interface. Also we have this one, the .2 network with this interface, and the last one we have the .4 network with this interface. These are loopbacks. So these are loopbacks, meaning they can pin themselves, so don't mind about them. So the next thing, guys, now let's assign. We have nothing like static within, meaning we have not assigned each network within these areas that we want to communicate with. So we need to assign, at least it should be aware of these networks. As you can see here, if you try to run the same thing with this display IP routine, if we do for this, then it has anything like static. As you can see, static with a preference of 60, meaning we have this network. The network we're talking about is the .5 network, this network. And also you can check here, we have the .3 network, which is this for subnet 2. So the same thing we're going to do within this router. So we'll do the same thing here. You can see we have there is no anything like we have configured. So let's go ahead and do it. So let's go ahead and do it. So come IP root static. Now here comes the question. IP root static, you want to assign this network here within this IP routing table. So we will assign this network, then within which port, within this next hop here. So we're talking about this network, but within this next hop. So we'll go ahead and assign 192.168.0.0 network, then subnet mask of 24, then our next will become 192.168.1.2. Click enter. So this is for this point. We'll go ahead and repeat this procedure. Same here, talk about same here, this. So we'll do here the same here. So we'll repeat the same thing for this network. So here this network will add, we want to go to this .3 network, so let's change this to become the .3 network. And then our gateway, our next hop will be this point .2.2 network. This become our gateway or our next hop or whatever, but this is now where our packets will pass through via this point. So also click enter, and we'll do this for the last one here. So we'll go ahead and do this for the last one here. So we repeat the same thing. So I'll repeat the same thing. We want to go to the .5 network, then we'll pass via 4.3. So we'll pass via 4.3. This one I'm referring to this one, this point here. So click enter. Okay, let's go ahead again and do it once more and see if we can do anything. You can see we are able to get reply. So we have tried to pin this PC. This is the PC that we are trying to pin. We pin this PC within this .3 network. This is the PC that we pin. So we pin this PC and you can see we are able to get reply. This is because now our main router has every information that is required for it to pass information from each subnet. We'll go ahead and try to pin this gateway point, which is 1.3 that we have been trying before here, and it was keep on failing. This point. At that time, this .3 network was failing, and again this gateway point here, we try to pin it, and it has a request timeout. Let's try to do it and see if now we are able. So 1.3 and click enter. It has a request timeout, and I will let you know why. I will still let you know why it is not able to pin it. We'll make that configuration soon. We'll add that. This is because we have this network. Remember, this is our subnet 1. There's this outside network here, and this outside network here is not within our IP routine of this table here. If we right click here and come within our IP routine table for router 1, we will see there is no any network which is the .1 network. The .1 network here we don't have anything static that we have not configured manually considering this network here. So we will do it and will now be able to pin this. But for now, what we can only do, is be able to communicate with each subnet. So if we try to communicate with subnet 1 from subnet 3, let's try to do so by 0.2 or .2 network. We are able to get reply so far. The same here. If we try to come here again and try to communicate with this subnet 2 within either subnet 3 or subnet 1, we'll do the same here. 192.168.5.2. also we are able to get reply, meaning our subnet are aware of each other and they can now communicate within each other. Let's do it for the .0.1 network. Also we are getting reply. So what we are not able to do is that even if we within this let's talk about this, we are within this network. Let's try to pin anything outside this point. Let's try to pin this network here. Let's try to pin this network. So let's see, this is the 2.2. let's try to pin 2.2 and see what happens. It's pinning 2.2. okay, it's okay, it should be pinning 2.2, but what it is not supposed to do, it is not supposed to pin the .1. It is not supposed to pin .1. Again it's pinning, but I don't know why it's failing for the other side, but I don't know. Let's try to configure again. Let's try to check again. It was supposed to pin it. What is it's not supposed to pin? It's not supposed to pin this network, but this network should be aware of it. So let's try to do it. 192.168. Let's try with another this PC and see. .1.3. It's pinging, and I don't know why this is not. It's keep failing on this PC. We are trying to pin the same network, but it's unreachable. Right now it's working. So guys, it's just a simple mistake that usually happens. Sometimes this because some either firewall or anything that maybe is preventing the packets from moving ahead. So I was wondering why is not be able to ping this, and yet we have configured our router contain this network. So as you can see, at first the same network, guys, here it was not pinning before, but right now it's the same network and it's pinning. So what I was sure of is about the outside network, this network. As you can see here, let's review our IP routine table. Let's try to check these two network. Let's try to check this network here, and the same let's try to check this network here and see if they do exist within this router. So if you let's try to check the .4 or the .2 network within the static part. The static part, it is only have the .5, it has only the .3 network. It is not having anything to do with .4, .2 network. So this is what I was asking, or this is what I was saying. If we try to pin the .2, let's say the .2 let's say the .2 2, if we try to pin this network here, it is unreachable. This is because this within our router we don't have any network that we have assigned to our IP routine table. It has no idea of this routine, but it's aware of this path. This is because if it reaches this point, this router is aware of this existing network, and therefore it will forward anything or everything within that path. That's why if we are trying to send our packets, it must reach our point. This is because this main router helps us to identify the path after this packet reach this point. This is because our router has those, let's try to display it. It has those networks. So display the IP routine and see here. Check anything that is static. Let's try to check the .2.0 network. Let's try to check it static. In 5, this is 2, another static, this is .0, and again static .3. So it's not there too. Here we go. This is direct.2. It's there. It's here. We have it 2.0. That's why you see we have the 2.0 network here. That's why it's be able to recognize this path. But if this router or this network here try to reach this network here, it has not have an idea about this network. The same here. This network or this subnet is aware of this subnet but is not aware of this middle network here. The same happened to this point. If it is aware of this subnet, it can communicate with this subnet, but it has no idea of this network. That's why if you try to pin, if you try to reach these networks, it become unreachable. If we try to reach the dot 4 dot anything to do dot 3 or dot 2, if we try to reach them, they're having destination unreachable or having a request timeout, because these routers, they don't have any information regarding to the dot 4 network. So we want to minimize this, we want to configure this problem, and by the end of the day we want our routers to be able now to pin any network within this topology. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. We'll come here and we will do the IP routine, but this time we want to reach this destination here. We want to reach this network. So we only need to do is go ahead and change and assign and install this network within our IP routine table, and the gateway will still remain the same. This is because if you want to reach this network, we will still pass through this point. As I said before, click enter. So let's go ahead and let's try to review. So dot 4 network again 123, so click enter. The route already exists. This because it has already submitted itself. Let's try to check it. Let's try to check it. Static dot 3 network, static dot 4 network. It's already within our router. It's because this configuration here has already submitted itself, even without me clicking the enter part. That's why it has submitted itself. So but it's already exists. Before at early it wasn't, but right now it's within our IP routine table. So we'll do it for the same within this network. We don't have the dot 2. If you can see, anything that is static has no dot 2. So we'll go so add this network. So we'll come below here and do the same thing. So we'll do the same thing. Now we want to go to dot 2. So we'll go to the dot 2 network within the same next hop. So also enter, and now we are good to go. So let's come within this router again and configure the same thing. So system, so IP route static 192.168.0.0 network within the subnet mask of 24, and it will pass via this next hop. Not really, not really that we want to add this network. Sorry, we want to add this network so that this subnet will be able to pin this network. So the dot 1 dot 0 network. Then within our subnet mask of 24, then our next hop will still remain the same, which is 192.168.2.1. So this will still remain the same, and hit enter. Also we want to reach this network. Also we'll do the same for this. So we'll do the same. The gateway the next hop or the next hop will still remain the same. The only thing we need to change is the dot 1 to dot 4 network. We want to communicate with this network, and that's the change. That's all we need. So also click enter. We're done with that part. Also let's come to the last one here and do the same thing. So system, then IP route static 192.168. We want to come to this network, the .2 network, 2.0 network. We want to come to this network here. We want to be able to communicate with this network, so that's why it's the .2 network. And then subnet must remain the same, and our next hop will .4.2 network. I mean .4 .4 network. So it will be 192.168.4.2, this point, this gateway. So here it will be 192.168.4.2. Click enter, and then the same thing we'll do. We'll assign this network also to this router. So let's go ahead and do it. So go ahead and do it. We now want to go to the .1 network within the same gateway, and we click enter. Now let's try to pin anything. Let's try pinning anything. Let's try to pin anything here. Let's try to pin the network that we have added right now, 192.168.1 dot anything, either .3, .2. We are able to get feedback. This is because this router is now aware of this network, and that's why we are able to get feedback. Also, let's try to pin this to see if this router is aware of this network here. Then we go the same here, but this become 2.2, and we hit enter. We are also able to get reply. This is because this router is now aware of this network. The same here, this router is now aware of this network, and also it's aware of this network. Let's try to ping. So just ping. You can use the router to ping, you can use the PC, any you can just use to check whether you're able to reach another network or another device within the same topology. So 192.168.5. Let's talk about 4.4. Let's do it .3. Also we are getting reply. This is because this subnet is aware of this network here. Also, let's go ahead and do it 1.3. Should be able to get reply this network here. So let's check for the network, this network here, the .2 network, 2.0 network. So 2.2. Also we are getting replies. So it's that easy. The same here. If we try to ping 192.168.4.3 network, you will still able to get reply. This is because this network or this router is aware of this network. This is because this network exists in its IP routing table. The same here, the same for this network .1 network. If we try also, we should be able to get reply, and that's guys how you can configure this topology. So make sure in each subnet, make sure each router is aware of another network within the topology. You should make sure that its routing table should contain any relevant information regardless the network, so that you can enhance communication between each section, each subnet. So this guys was what we had planned to do today. This is my 5th video concerning the eNSP. I will still guiding on more connection, more configurations, how to do it. The only thing I need from you guys is support from you. Just subscribe to my channel. That one subscriber mean a lot to me. So feel free guys to comment. Just like I do love guys. See you guys viewing my videos, like and subscribe, because that is my determination. That's the reason why I decided to have this channel, so that we can help each other, and you help me, I help you guys. So relax, as we are going to approach another video. I'll come up with another idea on how we can configure different things, and we will doing it by ourselves. I will be guiding you step by step. So this is what we have today. Thanks for your time guys, thanks for everything guys, thanks for your patience guys. It's challenging sometimes, you may fail configuring something. This is because we are all human, so you should understand. But at the end of the day, we will make sure we have reached where we are heading to, and this is what we plan to do. So thanks for your time, thanks for everything, and I really appreciate. So this was for today. Thanks for your time.